So Kelly, this may be a first. This may be a first. You and I were chatting on Facebook,
Yes.
a messenger, right? You just joined the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, and we sent it. Hey, great to have you here. Kind of welcome to the our merry band of renegades. And you were kind enough, said, hey, hey Carl, great to be here. And we started talking a little bit, and I said, hey, hold the phone, stop. You want to do a podcast episode? And not knowing any better, you said yes, right? You said yes.
That's correct.
Yeah. So you have no idea which direction this is going to go. And frankly, we might publish this and we might not, right? We'll see how this goes. So first of all, well, I got to give a hook. See, when you do a podcast, you always want to give a hook. So what we were talking about was like, what's the one thing that might be holding you back more than anything else? And you gave a great answer. And so that's our hook. So before we go there, where are you located at?
I am in Houston, Texas.
Oh, awesome. Houston, Texas.
Mhm.
Houston. Do you know Steve Kyles by chance?
I do not.
Boy, if I was in Houston, Texas, he'd be my new best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve Miles.
Steve Kyles, great guy, really, really, really sharp guy. So, you found the Loan Officer Breakfast Club here just recently.
Yes.
How'd you find that? How'd you find us?
Just online, the online presence and
Oh,
going through my groups and things like that, just trying to network a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay, join this
okay,
group. I
cool,
want to be a part of this group. And
cool.
being in the mortgage industry 24 years, I began my journey back in 2000. And I've done everything from processing from retail. I started off processing retail side, switched over to wholesale side, then moved into the world of regulatory compliance.
Oh, how exciting! No,
I actually like
I,
compliance.
yeah, I hear you.
I
And
mean,
I bet it is.
Dodd-Frank's about 10,000 pages, but
It's certainly important. There's no question about that. It's
right.
certainly important. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then about a year ago, you
Well,
decided.
yeah, so after compliance, then I shifted to secondary. So in product development and then like MCC program manager. But I was more doing like the affordable housing down payment assistance programs nationwide. The lenders that I was with, we were licensed nationwide. So we'd find the programs, roll them out, train the staff, loan officers, underwriting, post closing, everyone on the programs. So got into that and I said, you know what? I want to try the loan officer gig and see how that works because I'm a people person. I love people. I love helping people. I have a servant's heart. I want to help however I can. And I think my knowledge from the product development world would really kind of help,
For sure.
see which products would be more
Mhm.
beneficial to their client situation.
No question. And it's likely the highest paying position at any mortgage company,
Yeah.
right? For a good producer, right? A good
Right. A high
producer,
producer.
a
Absolutely.
high producer will make more than the branch manager or more
Right.
than the district manager, right? So,
Right. The
so,
potential
so
is definitely there.
yeah, so it pays well too.
Mhm.
So I'm going to kind of read a little bit the message that you and I had going back and forth, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, I said, "Hey, great to have you here," and you said, "Hey, great, it's great to be here." And you mentioned that you were new, right? Newer as a loan officer, and I said, "Hey, can I ask you a quick question?" And you said, "Sure, why not?" And I said, "What would be the best way for you to close, say, 4 loans in a month?" Right? In other words, like, what would you need to do to make that happen? And you gave a great answer, right? Hey, I'm networking, I'm going to open houses, I'm meeting new agents. And my suspicion is when you say new agents, like new to you, not like I'm scouring,
Correct.
right? New to you. Yep. And
Yes.
all great stuff. But man, I'm not getting much fruit from it. I feel like I'm doing this work and it's not coming in like I thought it might would. And I said, well, what do you think the missing piece is? And you came up with some great suggestions. He goes, maybe marketing, maybe drip campaigns. Do I buy some leads? Maybe that'd be a thing to do. And then I said, hey, have you checked to see if the agents are what we call qualified, which
Mhm.
means they're closing like at least like give or take one buy side per month. So we look
Mhm.
up on Redder or MMI, or in your case, I think you said MLS, and you looked in there.
It's HAR. We call it HAR in Houston. It's a Houston. Association.
Association of Realtors. Awesome.
Yes. Mhm.
And so we look in there and you go, hey, I'm the ones I'm talking to, I'm making sure they're doing at least one buy side per month, or give or take 12 for the year, the last 12 months kind of thing. And so that's all working out well. And then I asked the real question that I was getting to. Well, I said, it feels like I'm interrogating you, but I'm looking to help, right? Because the thing about messaging and text, you can't hear the voice or you can't
Right.
see the body language here. And I thought, well, hell, she doesn't even know me. We've never spoken before. I don't want to come across as weird or anything like that. So
At this point, I'll get
anyway,
any help that I can get.
no, I get it. I get it. I get it. Good help, right? Good help. So I said, what do you think you're missing? And you said something like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm begging for business either or stalking them.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to talk about here for a few minutes. Again, this that we might end up not publishing this, but this I hear this all the time, and it's such a missed opportunity. I thought we'd talk about that a little bit. Right. So let's pretend we're not going to publish this and just have an honest conversation. And it might end up being just between me and you.
Okay.
So I asked you, my next question was, what does begging look like to you? So when you're saying, hey, Carl, I don't want to be begging for business. So Kelly from Houston, what does begging look like to you? Just between us girls here. What is, if when you go, oh, that person's begging, what does that look like?
So, of course, I reach out, I screen them, reach out, meet
Okay.
them for coffee, or, offer to
Yeah.
sponsor a lunch and learn, come into their office,
Okay.
try to meet their agents if they're not available. But it's really difficult to pin down an agent face to face. Everything is, they're so busy, we're so busy, so I'm
Okay.
making so many phone calls just to try to get somebody down on my calendar. I try at a minimum, I try to meet with at least
Yeah.
5 agents a week,
Okay.
to a lot of people don't know about our credit union, even though we've been in business 62 years. It's a
Well,
small
hey,
credit union.
let's give them a shameless plug. What's the name of your credit union?
It's Welby Financial Credit Union, but we just rebranded. We changed our name. We were the Johnson Space Center, so JSC. We were affiliated with NASA and just their
Wow.
families, and so we rebranded to Welby, to open it up to the public as well.
Awesome. All right, cool.
Thanks.
So you're meeting, some
Mhm.
weeks more, some weeks less, but
Right,
5 per week, give or take,
right.
sponsoring some lunch and learns or
Mhm.
meetings and whatnot. And again, just not really converting for you so far,
Right.
correct?
So, I present my products. We talk about different, loan scenarios. We do have our own internal down payment assistance program, which we will finance up to 105% financing. The credit score requirement is a little bit higher than the housing authorities. Most of the housing authorities is 640. Ours is like 680. And that's kind of, can be challenging at times. Um, but we also have jumbo products as well. We will finance up to $1 million at 100% financing.
All right,
Uh,
so I'm just going to go. So you killer programs,
right,
right? So you're offering, as far as programs grow, for sure is not an issue because you sound better than most, right? Just
right. And
better
then
than
we
most.
have the ability to portfolio our own products too. I mean, we do sell to Freddie, but we can portfolio our own
I
products
get
as
it.
well. So,
All right.
we
So
have that.
product offering is not the issue.
Um,
So let me go back to the
I
question.
wouldn't say that too much. I mean, we don't offer a huge suite of products. Like I have had several clients or potential customers, I've lost some business because we don't offer like the rehab programs, like 203 code programs, or
Yeah.
like the construction loans, we don't,
We offer those, do almost none of them. So just so that's those are fine niches. Don't get me wrong, but
yes,
in the big
yes,
picture, it's crumbs on it's crumbs. It's the crumbs. So
yeah.
so product is not the issue. So back to my original question:
What
what
is
does
making
begging look like to you? I know you're kind of avoiding that question a little bit. So
Well, we kind of got off on that.
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
So when I meet with the agents, I do
Okay.
follow-up calls, emails, hey, do you have any, clients I can pre-qual for you or any loan scenarios you'd like to discuss to see, if I
And
can
that's
help your situation.
so.
Most
So
of
you
the
wait,
time.
wait, wait. Let me make sure I follow you. So it's so we had the meeting,
Mhm.
like we got that, and then after the meeting, we're emailing them. Hey, can I help you? Or
Absolutely.
some sort of
Mhm.
question. Yeah. Okay. All right.
During our
All right.
meeting, I mean, we'll talk about the products and I'll present them with, a folder with some product information in it.
Okay.
Things of that nature. But
Okay.
with product material in it, and we'll discuss loan scenarios. They like our
All right.
products.
All right. So
Um,
back to the question. What does begging look like to you, Kelly?
there's a fine line with staying, constantly trying to communicate with them and staying on top of their mind with, and I said stalking, but it's like you don't want to annoy them so much to where they get turned off and they don't want to give you business, because every time you call them, they're like, oh my God, she's calling again. Let me just decline it. Or she's
Mm.
emailing again. Like, I mean, there's a fine line. And I mean, do I need business? Heck yeah, I need business. I'm a single mom with 2 kids. I have a mortgage to pay. I need business. I need to generate a lot of business. But at the same time, there's a I don't know, maybe it's a desperation thing, it's like, come on, you got to give me some loans. But it's about building a rapport with people. But a lot of times, especially most of the luxury higher end agents, they have their preferred lenders.
Hey, I'm
um
going to give you some breaking news.
yeah.
100% of the real estate agents that we call on already have a current lender.
Right.
Not some of them, not most of them, all of them. But yet
It's
we
just
still get them.
trying to get them to convince them to give us a shot.
That's right.
It's
That's
just,
right. That's right.
how can we
So
partner
so
together to make this work?
that's right. So back to the question, what does begging look like to you?
um like too much reaching out, I guess. And
And
I
what
think,
and what's too much? What's too much?
I mean, I think reasonably would be maybe once a week, but if you're doing it multiple times a week, every week, I don't know. I feel like at that point they're like, oh, I don't want to do
Mm,
business with this person. They look very, desperate, or, or
mm,
pushy. And,
mm.
that's not me. I'm cool. I'm low key. Let's do things. Let's do
Got
business
it.
together, but yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. So these are, just as an FYI, when we have an agent that's closing one buy side a month on average, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe 8 for the year, maybe 20 for the year, but give or take at least one a month, give or take.
Yeah.
How do you think they got to be? So by just as an FYI, that places them in between the top 4 and 5% in the nation.
Yeah.
So what that means is 95 to 96% of the agents don't do that. So we're talking about the 4 or 5%. So we're talking about the top, right? Even one a month makes them a top producer.
Okay.
What do you think they did to become a top producer? What activity do you think they did? Do
I
you think
mean,
they played it safe or do you think they were aggressive?
they're aggressive.
Yeah, the other 96% play it safe.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this. You get somebody that's a bit on the, and I don't know if aggressive is the right word. Let's say persistent. I like that word better. 'Cause aggressive sounds
Yeah.
like you're invading like weird,
Yeah.
right? Or you know what I'm saying? So, so somebody that's persistent and consistent, somebody that's persistent and consistent, like these top producers, do you think when they find somebody else that's persistent and consistent, do you like them? Do you think that annoys them or do you think that attracts them?
Well, since you put it like that, Carl, it attracts them.
It does. It does. Because let me ask you this, Kelly. I'm a real estate agent. Here, let's do it this way. Kelly, you're a real estate agent and I'm a loan officer.
Okay.
Kelly, do you want me to be persistent and consistent following up on the leads that you give me, or do you want me to play it safe?
Definitely persistent and consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Kelly, how can I prove to you that I'm going to be persistent and consistent with following up on the leads that you share with me, that you trust me with? How can I demonstrate to you that I'm going to be persistent and consistent?
I like that. It's all about the conversation and how you put the expectations up front.
Yeah. And
instead of
so
just
if I want to
assuming.
prove,
So
yeah. So if I want to prove to you that I'm going to be persistent and consistent with the leads that you're entrusting me with, then I need to be persistent and consistent following up on
you,
you.
yeah,
Because when I follow up on you that way, I'm demonstrating this is how I'm going to follow up on the leads that you give me that you're trusting me with so that you can make your mortgage payment. You follow me?
yeah,
And I don't think we can do that. I don't think there is. So for me, a begging would be I'm on my hands and knees and because that's begging, right? I'm literally on my hands and knees and
yeah,
I'm Kelly, please. I don't know what I'm going to do this month. I got two kids. I need to feed. Right? That's begging.
yeah.
Right? I get it. And you know what? Heck, that might actually work. I don't know. If somebody gives me a good sob story, crap, I might, I want to help somebody, right? So hell,
Yeah,
maybe that would
for
work.
sure.
So I don't think there's, I think the thing of, I don't want to beg for the business. I don't think there is such a thing. I literally think that doesn't exist. I think it's a made up term that marketers have taught us trying to get us to buy their wares. Well, you don't want to seem like you're begging. So here, come buy this widget,
Yeah,
use it because then you won't be begging.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like how you
And
presented that. Thank you. It was a mind shift there, so thank you.
it, it is. So like if I just contact you every now and then, it's showing I'm not, in instance, I'm not that interested in working with you. Whereas
And
if
do
I
you
call you,
recommend twice a week then?
I recommend once a week,
Once a
every
week,
week for
right?
12 weeks.
Okay.
Once a week, every week for 12 weeks. And here's the thing, like let's say, so I'm married to the lovely Mrs. White. So if I wanted to get a date, when I first started dating her and I want to get that date, am I going to email her or am I going to call her?
You're gonna call her.
I'm going to call her. I'm going to call. I email the people that's less important. I call the
Well, but if
people
she's
that's
not
most.
available, you call, leave a message, and follow up with an email.
No, I call. I follow up with another phone call.
Okay.
I follow the phone call. I think that the email. So we have this thing. It's called. Man, great questions. We have this thing that's called high tech, high touch, low time. High tech, high touch, low time. And so for you go, Carl, well, what about the other 96% of the real estate agents that are not qualified, but still have loans to give us? Maybe not one a month, but maybe twice a year, right? That can add up, right?
Yeah.
We get 50 of them doing that. It's like, another 5 deals a month, maybe something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood, two or three, four, five, something like that. So we want to market to those people too, which goes back to our original chat. You said, like you said, something like
Marketing, a drip campaign.
yeah, a drip campaign. I love drip campaigns for the lower producers. So for the agents that only do a couple of deals a year, we want to market to them too, but we can't afford a phone call because it takes too much time and they don't have anybody to give us likely on that particular week anyway.
Right.
And so if I'm calling a lower producer saying, "Hey, do you have a loan to give me or do you have a referral who can I help you with?" is kind of how we say it. Um, if they don't have anybody this week, they go, "No, I don't have anybody." So I call them again next week. "No, I don't have anybody." I call them the next week. "No, I don't have anybody." I call them the next week. "No, I don't have anybody. I'm a loser. I suck. I don't have anybody yet again, Carl." And
Right.
which is totally uncool for me to do that. But if we're talking to people that close at least one a month,
Mm-hmm.
they met somebody over the weekend because they're having open houses. They showed some houses. Some people called on their sign writers. So when we call them, and for me it's Monday morning, it's because over the weekend they did get some referrals that they do need help with. Here, I'll tell you something else, Kelly. Did you know that the average top producing real estate agent only closes one out of 20 of their leads? For every 20 leads, they close one.
Oh,
Yeah, 5%. And it's
wow.
called they just don't have time and they don't have Kelly yet to help them following up on all the open houses they had this last weekend. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so when we call the agents and tell them, "Hey, I can help you," the average top producing agent's only closing 5% of their leads. What if I helped you close another 5%, which would be 10%, which would be a doubling of their business? They'd be closing twice as many leads from the same amount of, I'm sorry, they'd be closing twice as amount of business on the same amount of leads, because now Kelly persistently and consistently,
Yeah.
just like you did with them to set that appointment and to ask for the business, that you've demonstrated that you're going to be persistent, consistent with their leads too. And so now they're going to have you call their leads in addition to them calling their leads, to maybe close 2 out of 20 instead of just 1 out of 20, just the 5%. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
So do you see that, like this? And I really appreciate you doing this. I really do. It took
No
courage.
problem. Thank you for
That
actually asking me. I'm like, this is a first for me, but I'm glad that we've had this dialogue back and forth, because honestly, what you what you said really resonated with me, and it's a mind shift thing. So
Yeah.
I think I was
Yeah.
just kind of feeling defeated for a moment, and I'm like, come on, because August was a really bad month for me.
Yeah.
And I just felt a little frustrated, defeated, and all those mixed bag of emotions going on, stressed a little bit, and so yeah.
Oh, sure. Oh, don't, you don't need to apologize for your response. It was dead on. And the
Yeah.
reason why I wanted to do this is because certainly I've had those months, and I've had those, the defeated thing, and what should I do now? And I don't want to beg, and I don't want to be desperate. And like those thoughts go through everybody's head. That's why, trust me, if this was a unique situation, we wouldn't be on the podcast. I'm doing it
Yeah.
because it's a conversation going through a lot of people's head. And let me ask you something else. When you see a McDonald's ad, do you think McDonald's is desperate?
No,
No.
not at
When
all.
we see a Chevrolet ad, we don't think Chevrolet is desperate,
No.
right? So when you're doing your prospecting, nobody's going to think you're desperate, Kelly. They're going to think you're a great salesperson, you're a great marketer, and you're persistent and consistent, which is exactly what I'm looking for somebody to help me follow up on my leads, because I'm a top producing real estate agent and I'm only closing 5% of my leads coming in on average. That's a national average,
Right.
1 out of 20. Man, I need to be doing what Kelly's doing. Because that Kelly, every Monday morning, she calls me, rain or shine. She's like Big Ben clock. I can count on her. And so I
Okay.
know she's going to help me follow up on these leads. And man, I'm just not that good at following up on them. She kind of fills that empty spot in my business by
Yeah.
helping me follow up on the leads.
Yeah.
And so playing it safe. And by the way, you seem like one of the nicest people ever. And
Thank you.
so playing it safe will keep people from the opportunity to work with you. And you seem like a really good person to work with.
Thank you.
And so give more people the opportunity to experience. You sound like you got a big heart. You got way more product knowledge than I have, for sure. I could, just with your, no, you do. And you're going to do things safe. You're going to do things compliant, because that's your background too. There's not going to be anything sketchy here.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think we just need to be a little bit more bold in our
Yeah.
follow up, and throw our email. I'm not going to say throw it away, but let's
Yeah.
pretend the email doesn't go out. You can send emails, but let's pretend it doesn't go out. Let's act as if they're not opening it, because they're probably not. Right?
Right.
Truth be known, the average open rate of emails across the nation runs usually somewhere around 5%. Now, if you send one to your sister, your buddy,
Yeah.
or your kid or whatever, of course it has a high open rate. But when we're doing marketing emails,
Yeah.
prospecting email, about 5%
Those
is
get
average.
deleted. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
delete a bunch of stuff that comes in my email. So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't need this.
yeah,
Delete, delete, delete. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's nothing personal against the person. It's just like whatever,
Yeah.
right? But it's that person that's persistent and consistent that you answer to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does. It
Yeah.
does.
Has this
Thank
been
you.
helpful?
It really has.
So
It
so
has.
what's our action item? What do we do different going forward?
Well, I'm not going to email so much.
Or you can keep emailing.
I will email, but I mean, as far as if I
In the
don't
phone.
get in touch with them, initially, to follow up with them instead of just
Yeah.
Texting's okay too, right?
It's okay, but it doesn't replace the phone call.
It doesn't replace the phone call, but
Does not replace the phone call.
at least they see it on their phone, like that I did try to
That's true.
contact them
So they
and,
would get the phone call and the
and a
text.
text.
Yeah.
Yes. If they didn't, I think maybe, if they did, I call them, left them a message and then text them. And then I could also follow up with an email, but I think text because everybody holds their device in their hands. They're
Yeah.
constantly on their phone. So
Hey, you
they
want you want
can't
you want
miss the text message.
you want to practice a call to action?
Sure.
All right, so let's practice a call to action, and we'll close up
Okay.
with this. Let's practice with a call to action. I got a good feeling about you, Kelly. I do. I got a good feeling about this. I do. I got a good feeling. I don't believe in accidents. I think there's divine intervention. It's just my belief system, and
That's good. Yeah.
think this. I think
We crossed paths for a reason.
I
Thank you,
think
Jesus.
so because I've literally never done this before. So it's so all right. So let's practice call to action. So so Realtor Kelly, Loan Officer Carl. So hey Kelly, it was great meeting you for coffee the other day, and thank you for spending the time with me.
Yes,
And Kelly,
absolutely.
if I could hit the universe reset button and only work with agents like you, I'm just telling you, I'd be in loan officer heaven. And it's easy to see why you're being so successful at what you're doing. And I'm just going to come out of the closet. I'd love to work with you. I mean, you're the kind of people that I just love to work with. Would it be okay if I was to ask you, could I count on you to send me that next buyer lead that comes across your desk? Because I'd really like to work with you. Is it okay for me to ask that?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I count on you for that?
Sure.
All right. I appreciate
As
it,
long as
Kelly.
it fits in your product, the products that the client is looking for, absolutely.
Well, Kelly, I'll give you one promise. I'll give you one promise. If I don't have the product for it, I'll find out who does and I'll introduce you to them if you need help with that. And you might already have somebody, but if I
Mhm.
don't have it, I'll help you find somebody that does. Because I know a lot of people here in the industry. I've been in compliance and product development for a long time. I've been doing this for almost a quarter of a century. So I know what I'm doing. And if I don't have it, I'll find out who does. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Looking,
Absolutely. Thank you.
looking forward to working with you, Kelly.
Looking forward to working with you also.
All right. So the key words to that was, can I count on you? So we got to do that ask.
Yeah.
And we're not going to say, hey, if you need anything, give me a call. No, 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 no. We're going to come out of the closet and in a very cool way. And by the way, did that sound desperate to you?
No, it
Was
didn't.
I was I begging?
No, it's
No.
how you worded it. It was, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little wordplay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you feel kind of honored the way I said, I want in a cool way, right? Not being
Right.
weird. I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want your deals. I want to work with you, right? Because you do.
Yeah.
You seem like a super nice person. And by the way, if I'm talking with an agent and they kind of weird me out a little bit, hell, I'm not going to, hey, nice talking with you, Bob,
Yeah.
and have a good day. But we
Absolutely.
don't judge. I don't think she liked me. I don't think he liked me because we can't do that.
Right.
It's like, ugh, I don't know. It's just like, ugh, it doesn't happen often. Maybe
For
one out of
sure.
50, maybe one out of
Yeah.
50, something like that, So, all right.
Yeah.
So now let's reverse the roles. And hey, we have the saying over here at the in the we call it the mortgage marketing animals. If it feels weird, you're doing it right. If it feels weird, you're doing it right. You follow me? Because normal is, hey, if you need anything, give me a call.
Yes.
But
I
that's not going
have
to get
to
us
train my
business.
brain to use different words now.
I got it. So let's practice it. So now ask me if tell ask me if you can count on me. So we'll just do that part there. So ask me that.
Hey, Carl, it was nice meeting you for coffee the other day. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to meet with me. I appreciate that. Um, can I count on you to send me your next clients to get them pre-qualified so they can go shopping for their dream of the house home dream? I
That's
got
it. You got it. You got it. That
sorry.
was it. That's perfect. That's
The
perfect.
dream
Yep.
house.
The only difference is the only thing I would do different is you gave the benefit to the client. Give the benefit to me because I'm
Oh, okay.
I'm the most important. And this is just the way that people think. I'm
Right.
the most important thing about this conversation,
Okay.
right? Everybody like what's in it for me. So which you did great. You told me, hey, great benefit to the client, but the benefit to me, and I like the
Because
one
you're
because
the connection to the client. So I need
yeah,
to
and so like
focus.
tell me that you want to work with me, right? Because now you just flattered me in a cool way, right? Not being weird or anything. You said, hey,
So typically I tell them, you know, I'd love to partner with you.
tell me you want to work with me.
Hmm?
I just want to work with you. You seem like a really knowledgeable person, Carl. Right? Keeping everything appropriate, of course. Hey, you seem
Yeah.
like a real knowledgeable person. I'd love to work with you. Because see, now you've flattered me, right?
Yes.
Which works. Which works. It totally works. So now you flattered me in an appropriate, cool way, and I like people that like me. Right? We all know
Yes.
that people like people that like them. So you just said again, an appropriate and a cool way that you like me enough that you want to work with me. Right? You didn't say, Carl, I like you, but you said, hey, I'd love to work with you.
Yes.
And I go, oh, cool. She's my kind of people. She's the kind of person that me and the lovely Mrs. White hang out with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I like me and she likes me too. Awesome. We have something
It's a
in
good
common.
thing she likes you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the only change I would make to it is because I'm really looking forward to working with you. You seem like a really sharp guy. You seem to be a great marketer. You're certainly a top agent in the field. And man, me hanging out with other successful people, boy, it's just a good thing for me to do.
Yeah.
Right. So give me a compliment and you cannot water down the can I count on you part,
Okay.
which you did perfect, which you did perfect.
Give compliment.
And if it feels weird, you're doing it right. You like that part?
That's so weird because you're just like mentally you're trying to it just doesn't make sense if you're
You're
just
trying to water it down. Don't water it down.
yes, yes.
Yeah, don't water it down.
Okay.
So I think we did it. Hey, you know what? I think we totally pulled this off. I think we can totally do this as a podcast episode. And I think it'll totally help a lot of other people. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I mean, if anything that I'm experiencing can help the next person, absolutely, I'm all for
Yeah. All right, Kelly. I appreciate you doing this with me.
it. No problem.
All right, great stuff. I appreciate the courage and frankly the encouragement. So real good stuff. Hey, when you're ready to go over what to say and who to say it to, much like what we just did, we've actually got a different phone call for each day of the week. We call it the Daily Success Plan, and we'd love to walk you through it, just like what we just did. That's what these meetings that we're going to have with you. This is kind of what they sound like. And so if you go to mmademo.com, MMA for Mortgage Marketing Animals, MMA demo, DEMO, demo.com. And just in there, they'll ask you a couple questions about where your business is so we can best prepare for the call. And then we'll set up like a 45-minute Zoom meeting and we'll go over one of these and see how we can help you. So looking forward to doing that. So, all right, I think that's about it. So thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. And Kelly, thanks again so much for coming in here and helping me help others. It's an absolute honor. So real good stuff. Looking forward to some good stuff coming from you. So mmademo.com. My name's Carl White, and we'll see you on the next episode of Loan Officer Freedom. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.